So f of x is this weird-looking function, 4 over 5, x to the power 4 over 5 times x minus 9 squared. And what we are required to do is we are required to find the critical numbers. So I'm looking at the definition of the critical numbers, and I see that the derivative is to equal 0 or the derivative does not exist. So in any event, I need to find the derivative, and the derivative is, this is a product, okay? So I'll use the product rule. Just to remind you, the product rule, I take the derivative of the first, so this is u, and I'll take the derivative and then multiply it by v, which in my case is x minus 9 squared, and then it will be u times v prime, or x to the 4 over 5 times the derivative of x minus 9 squared, like so. Okay? And now we need to work it out. So the derivative of x to the power 4 over 5 will be 4 over 5 times x to the power 4 over 5 minus 1. 4 over 5 minus 1 is negative 1 over 5, multiplied by x minus 9 squared. Then x to the power 4 over 5 times the derivative of x minus 9 squared. Well, that will be 2 times x minus 9, and the derivative of x minus 9 is 1. So I'm done with the calculus, and now here's the algebra where we need to rearrange everything. Okay, so I'm looking at the first expression here, and I see that x to the negative 1 over 5 is in the denominator. So I'll write it as, I have 4, and here I have x minus 9 squared, and the denominator will be 5 times x to the 1 over 5. And here I have x to the 4 over 5, and then 2 up front, and then times x minus 9. And I want to have a common denominator. In other words, I need to multiply and divide by 5 x to the 1 over 5, like so. So, keep working, and at this point I have a common denominator, which is nice. And let me rearrange that a little bit. So I have 4 times x minus 9 squared. And here I have 2 times 5, which is 10. And then x to the 4 over 5 times x to the 1 5 give me x to the 5 over 5, or simply x. And then times x minus 9. So this starts looking a little bit better. And then I'll take the common factor. The common factor will be x minus 9, and then I can pull out the 2, but you know what? I don't know if it's worth. Oh, well, let's do it. So the common factor will be 2 times x minus 9. And what do I have left? Here I'll have 2 times x minus 9, right? So it will be 2x minus 18. And here I have 5x. Again, I factor 2, so I have 2 and 5. And then I factor x minus 9, so I have 2 times x minus 9, which is 2x minus 18. And here what's left is 5x. And the final step will be to write 2 times x minus 9, and here I have 7x minus 18. All of it divided by 5x to the 1/5. So this is the derivative. And now I'm looking at the critical numbers again, and I see, okay, I need to find value of x such that f prime equals 0 or f prime does not exist. So I have two cases. One, when the derivative equals 0, that will give me one set of critical numbers, and the other when the derivative is undefined. Questions so far? Go ahead. All right. If you think about it later on, then bring it up. If not, then bring it up after class. All right? So the first case is f prime of x equals 0. We are looking at this, and in other words, I'm looking at the derivative. It means that 2 times x minus 9 times 7x minus 18 equals 0, and this gives me two values, right? One value is x equals 9, and the other is x equals 18 over 7. The other case is f prime of x does not exist. And that will be when the denominator equals 0, or 5x to the 1 over 5 equals 0, and this will happen when x itself equals 0. So I have three values, okay? So we can summarize that the critical numbers of f of x are the set. We'll go from the smallest. I think the question also asks you what is the smallest. The smallest is 0, and then in the middle we have 18 over 7, and then the largest is 9. And this is the numbers are different from student to student, as it is a randomly generated question, or the numbers are randomly generated.